What is up, gym fans? It is the week of October 13th. I'm Patricia,
And I'm Carissa.
and this is Decoded.
Yeah, it is. Woo! We're never
Woo!
gonna stop wooing.
No, never gonna stop wooing. And this is our last episode before Worlds because we're gonna take a break next week for Worlds because we're gonna
Yes.
be knee deep in gymnastics and
Worlds.
stressed
We are
TF
actually going to
out.
Worlds. I'm kidding.
Yes, we're
We're
actually
competing.
we are doing Jakarta immediately,
Yeah, we're,
imminently.
we're actually on our own team. It's called Decoded.
Yes. No, 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 no. That's actually my stick for the week is that Amy, one of our photographers slash like reporter, and Filippo, another one of our photographers, are in Jakarta.
They made it.
Our team is there, the ones that are going, because
Thank
I
the
have
Lord.
a 4-month-old child that I am nursing. And Carissa is taking care of Grams.
And I have a wedding.
And she has a wedding. Actually, Grams is taking care of Carissa.
Literally. Graham's is helping
So
me.
next year, Rotterdam. We'll have the whole crew.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
No, I'm so excited about that.
But honestly, we were stressing, as Simone said at the Olympics last year, stressed
Yeah.
about the visa situation for Jakarta because
Yeah.
we're going to get into a little bit of the FIG situation, but on top of other things, they are not the best communicators. Shocker. About
Crazy how that happened.
things. And they opened credentialing, I think, in no, it was August and like closed it mid-September and like did not basically like inform media members in advance or give like they should have basically given months and months notice to get ready for this visa that you have to get as a journalist to go to Jakarta.
Yeah.
And basically all the things that we saw were like, oh, it's 6 to 8 weeks. They answered it was really random. They answered some credential requests, like, and I'm just going amongst the US media because those are the people that I know about. They were like, basically, like half of the people got their credential requests answered almost immediately. And then, like, half the people, we had to chase them down and they waited until like credentialing closed. And I'm not saying anything, but the one thing that I did notice allegedly is that the women that were having to chase it, the people that were having to chase it down were women, which was odd. But I don't know, just an observation. But that being said,
Great.
I was just like, do we have something against the ladies covering the
The
feet?
ladies.
I
The
don't know.
ladies.
But that being said, Amy was one of those ladies, and we were stressing because she left actually last Friday for Abu Dhabi, and she did a 2-day layover, and then they just got to Jakarta yesterday. But she met Filippo, and she was actually on the plane with a few other media people, and then a bunch of delegations, including the Russians, the Russian AINs. So that was so funny. I think she passed like Angelina in like coach or whatever and was just like, "What? Why aren't you in? You should be in first class."
Yeah, literally what?
But
Crazy.
but yeah. So all that to be said, she got her visa. Filippo has had his because he looked into it and got on top of it, even though Fig was not really a help. And
I thought you were gonna say, because he's a man.
or he also he got his credential, I'm pretty sure, immediately. So, and he is a man, so I don't know. But
Listen, we're just making
that
observations as
we're,
they come.
we're just making
We're
observations
just
as
using
they
our eyes
come.
and ears.
But all that to be said, they're credentialed, they have their visas, they're in Jakarta, all is well. When you are listening to this, podium training will have begun, so be watching our social channels and everything for the video, the photo, the interviews, the coverage. We are going to have it all. I'm going to be nocturnal and killing myself to bring you coverage. So, along with Amy and
So
Pipo,
make
who
it
will,
worth
yeah,
it.
yes, tune in. We appreciate it.
Tune
So,
in.
that being said, that was my stick. I don't know why we started with that. I put my stick first. So, why don't you share your stick, Carissa?
Mine is that our social clips are getting views.
Ooh, those are hard to come by these days, man.
Listen, starting from the bottom, it's tough. It's tough when you haven't been at the bottom in a while. You know what I'm saying?
It is
So,
rough.
but we're getting views. Our headline videos are getting a lot of views actually, which love.
Probably because we
Traffic.
collab on Instagram too.
Yeah, but I was thinking about it though, and our previous ones we were collabing and I was doing the same thing.
Okay.
So I think it's getting pushed out more. And on top of that, those same videos are doing well on TikTok. And
Where we
that's
don't
usually my
collab.
yeah, and that's usually my indicator. So, thanks Gymnastics Now, but I think it's also
I think it's Decoded. I think it's Carissa.
love. So that's my stick, but we should shout out our shirts.
Oh, yes. Before I forget, because I'm exhausted, we are wearing our Still Gill shirts for Katie Gillering, LSU's strength and conditioning coach, who
Yeah, we
we
are,
talked about a few weeks ago.
because she's gonna
They
go to
were,
the Paralympics.
yeah, she's going to the Paralympics down the line. She's going to be there. She's already weightlifting and getting in it, but they were doing a fundraiser and it included shirts, and we probably would have donated to the fundraiser anyways because we love the story and we love talking about it. But
Then there were shirts.
then there were shirts, so we were like, heck yeah. Can I
Let's
say
get the
heck?
shorts. Yeah, I'd be swearing all the time. We're fine.
So, that being said, shout out Katie. We're repping you proudly.
Our girl.
I think she actually shared recently that she was kind of having a little setback, just some challenges, and it was kind of
Hmm.
emotional for her. So just to shout
Just
out
know
that we are rooting you on,
you got two
and
supporters right here, girlfriend.
I
Big
think
fans.
the note I wrote down was progress is not linear, so you are
And
going to.
she's still so fresh out
Yep.
of this incident that
The
give yourself grace, girl, because
the
you're
fact
crushing
that
it.
you are doing what you are doing is incredible. So,
Incredible.
but
Woo! Katie Guillory. Amen.
uh,
You know, that just changed my whole mood. Let's
ma-
get it.
gets me hype. Gets me hype when I have little to no energy. But all that to be said, I guess we're gonna
What?
do our wobbles next, and it seems like we are both physically falling apart. So, Carissa,
Perfect.
why don't you
Um,
share yours?
I started my running journey again,
Mhm.
and back when I was a gymnast, I got horrible shin splints, and they come and go ever since I was like 12 now, and they are so bad this week that I woke up in the middle of my sleep last night and said, "No, I'm gonna take some ibuprofen because they hurt so bad laying down." So imagine how it feels to walk and run.
Shin splints are no joke. Like they're just like so if you never had them, they're just so debilitating and like they it seems like
Your
such a minor
muscle is
thing.
literally ripping off your bone. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally like you're supposed to take, like, a tennis ball and rub your muscle back into its bone. So
Mm,
anyways, hope that
okay.
helps. Your turn.
My wobble is I was walking in the door, I think with Henry, so I was holding him. It's very precarious. Just holding a child and going upstairs from our garage to into our house in general, but we have like screen doors on the two doors in our house. So we have one here, that's our front door, and then we have in our garage to our back door, there's like a screen door. And they both like they don't have like a softener, I guess you could say, on it or whatever.
Yeah,
They just like slam shut.
yeah.
And so, like, we've lived at this house for like a year and a half now, so we're pretty used to it. But the other day, I don't know what I was doing. that thing caught my the back of my ankle, basically my Achilles, and it hurt so bad, like, it slammed into it and, like, caught it in the
Ugh.
door jamb where it, like whatever, and I thought it would just only hurt for, like, a little bit, and I'd be fine, like, the next day or something.
Yeah.
Well, we are now going on almost a week. It still hurts. I must have, like, sprained my ankle slash I feel like my Achilles is hanging on for dear life because also who knows what kind of damage I did to it with my crappy technique in competition cheer for years. So it could already be hanging on for dear life. And,
That's so
um,
scary. There
yeah,
if
I don't
there's
know.
one injury I'm terrified of, it's an Achilles injury.
I like you think like, oh, like it might like I don't know. I guess like for me, I used to think like, oh, it's really like just the gymnasts who are doing these like there's so much force that they're
Mhm.
putting on their bodies when they're tumbling and stuff like that. But like my uncle actually around the same time that I gave birth and was induced because I fell playing pickleball, which I love pickleball, shout out pickleball. He busted his Achilles, he blew it out playing pickleball. And so I get concerned, but my thing
Yeah, that's scary.
my my ankle has literally been, like, swelling, and it's been almost a week, and it aches, and it's like, I can basically walk normal, but I also shouldn't, and, like, I've been
Yeah.
avoiding walks, and I've been wanting to get, back on my Peloton, and I can't. So, all that
So,
to
like, maybe
say
you should go to the doctor.
I might. I actually have for some reason, I was psychotic enough to schedule a primary care appointment or reschedule my primary care appointment because I last was supposed to go during selection camp and I had to reschedule it. Rescheduled it for Monday for some reason when I'm going to be getting off a night shift covering this meet. But so basically, if it's still hurting, then I'm just going to mention it to my PCP as I'm walking in there like a zombie. So
Great
I'm
plan.
sure it'd be great. So hopefully
Don't
I
get
don't bust
old.
it.
It
It's
sucks.
I honestly legitimately
If
think
you're
I'm
a small gymnast listening to this, enjoy being a child.
I'm 29. You don't think I'm old. I feel like pregnancy definitely ages you because I feel like I look ancient after giving birth, but it's probably the exhaustion. But I like this kind of thing. I've definitely had like my ankle hit like that before. Maybe not as bad. Like even sitting here right now, it hurts because I like to like put my ankles in weird positions under my desk.
Yeah.
But previously, I would have, like, rebounded from that so quick. 29, no. I think that's part of it. I think my body is like, You're not a spring chicken anymore, honey."
I mean, you
So,
had a whole child, so I think your body's just still recovering.
it is still recovering. Only 4 months, been 4 months.
I
Postpartum,
feel like it's been
apparently
like a year, so I can only imagine how you feel.
and then I'm apparently, like or at least based off of my and Johnny's plans, which we are planners, going to try to have, like get pregnant and do it all over again, like, this time next year. Insanity.
Meanwhile,
Rip.
just me. I have no idea if I'll ever have kids. We'll see.
You said you don't know if you'll ever have kids?
At this rate, 27, girlfriend.
You're fine.
I'm actually closer to 28 now.
And
Was 28 a good year for you?
I don't know if I really I mean, I just turned 29, so I was pregnant most of the year I was 28, so
Yeah, so I
yeah.
feel like it was a good year for you. You had something
Well,
in life.
28 was also when I covered my first Olympics, like, in person and whatever,
Okay,
so
so you're telling me the next year of my life's gonna be really good.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay, perfect.
Highly recommend going to Paris for a month.
Yeah, because I have the funds for that, Patricia. Thanks so much. Love you.
Hmm.
Anyways, back to
Rotterdam.
gymnastics.
Rotterdam.
I'm going. I don't care what you say. I'm going.
She's gonna, like, show up on the plane, and I'm gonna be like, "Where did you come from?" Let's get to our top 10 gymnastics headlines of the week. This is where we catch you up on the gym stories of the week. and give you the gist of what you need to know in our GN Top 10. First, the obvious. World starts this weekend,
Eh.
and Israel will not be competing after Indonesia denied the delegation's visas last minute. We're talking approximately 10 days before the meet like qualifying starts on Sunday, October 19th. The Israeli
Devastating.
the Israel Gymnastics Federation said they were assured they would be able to compete earlier this summer and had a letter of support from the Indonesian Gymnastics Federation before it was reportedly withdrawn. Indonesia waited until the last minute to deny their visas, and Israel has filed a suit with CAS to try to force their hand or get the meet relocated or canceled. The two provisional measures were actually rejected by CAS, which is the Court of Arbitration for Sport, on Tuesday, but the appeal that FIG violated its own statutes is still ongoing, which could, in a worst case scenario, see the results of this meet nullified. Of the athletes impacted, the biggest name is, of course, Artem Dogopiat, who is the reigning world champion and Tokyo Olympic champion on floor. That being said, Worlds will go on. We did not know if it was going to go on. There was a lot of question marks about whether they might cancel it based on the statute that Israel is citing, but it's going to happen. And that is certainly a relief to all of the athletes that literally are already there and
Yeah.
ready for competition to begin Sunday. We will have a preview of event finals in the next segment.
Yeah, that whole story's crazy. Anyways, headline number 2. 2021 World All Around Champion Angelina Melnikova is on injury watch after she reportedly had an MRI on her knee after the Paris World Cup. It was a better case scenario of just a stress injury to the head of the fibula. A few days ago, she acknowledged there's very little time, hardly enough to fully recover and reach competition form, so keep an eye on the 4-time Olympic medalist. Side note, the amount of tape she brought with her to Jakarta is insane. You'd think she's going to be a mummy for Halloween, so it's crazy.
She brought like three boxes of tape. It's like it
A
really
lot.
is
It's a lot.
a lot. I could actually use some of that for my ankle right now.
Yeah,
Why don't you send some, Angelina, please?
yeah. Just call her up. Just call Taylor up.
What would happen if you just called Taylor up?
Number 3, the FIG Executive Committee shared its October update last Friday. The biggest news is the EC approved an update to the MAG code of points that many are not happy about. They've also made some other changes before, so like they're all the guys are like, please stop changing things. Please.
Yeah.
Starting January 1st, 2026, they are removing the current open value for the dismount element group, instead putting a cap on dismounts at a maximum value of zero point 0.5, half a point, which is consistent with the other element groups within the MAG code of points. This alignment will, quote unquote, remove the perception of a double benefit of performing high difficulty dismounts, aka receiving both the dismount value and a disproportionately higher element group value. This means you should soak in all the triple backs and other difficult dismounts we're going to see on the men's side at Worlds over the next week, because they will probably all but disappear next year as athletes weigh the risk reward benefit of doing those skills. This change was likely enacted after we've had multiple severe injuries with athletes attempting difficult dismounts this year under the new code. Italy's Lorenzo Bonicelli is one such example after he sustained a serious neck injury doing a triple back off rings at the FISU World University Games in July. So people are on both sides of the coin. They say if you can't do the difficult skills, you shouldn't train them. But then also, does FIG have a responsibility to protect its athletes? That is something for you to sound off on in the comments.
Yeah. You should let us know because I got my thoughts, but I'm going to keep them to myself. Headline number 4, Missouri alum Amari Celestine announced last week on the All Things Gymnastics podcast that she is training for the LA Games. She plans to train vault and floor. The 22-year-old hopes to qualify elite in February at the Kentucky Winter Classic in Louisville. That's exciting.
Go,
I love,
girl.
I like truly love how many people are trying to make elite runs. I
And
feel like
I
it's really picked up since like 2016, and I love that.
And I think in the States, it's really we're gonna see a lot of it ahead of the LA games. Of
Yeah.
course, like, and I'm not saying Amari can't make it happen. She could absolutely make it happen. Who knows? But of course, like all of these people aren't gonna make a 5-person Olympic team, but to see the
Yeah.
comebacks and see what they could achieve. You can make world teams, you can make Olympic trials, you could make the Olympic team, but we're gonna see a lot of American athletes do this in hopes of making
Yeah.
the Olympic team for a home games. I as far as I mean, like, I'm not an athlete, I haven't competed in Olympics, right? But as far as I understand it, there's nothing that compares to
No.
competing at a home Olympics.
Now I get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, it
Okay.
really does. We get chills on a regular basis on this
I
podcast.
know. You can actually see mine
Um,
though.
Number 5, Simone Biles isn't ruling out 2028. Is anyone shocked? On a recent business trip to Buenos Aires, Argentina, Biles said she's taking some time off from the gym, but will be in LA one way or another. Quote unquote, she said, I'm not sure what 2028 looks like, but I will be there in some capacity. This is nothing that hasn't changed from what she's messaged since Paris. I just don't know right now if it's on the floor or in the stands, but I definitely want to go and be a part of that movement. Some people seem to think Biles hinted at retirement after recent cosmetic procedures. She didn't actually say anything, just that's their assumption. We think if she hasn't retired yet, she's probably going for a fourth games. She'll only be 31. Canada's Ellie Black is 30 and about to compete at her ninth Worlds and is eyeing a fifth Olympic appearance in LA when she'll be about to turn 33. Also, have we not learned anything from the legendary Oksana?
I was gonna
So,
say, whenever we talk about age, I just go, "Oksana?" Question mark. Like, what do you mean? Of course it's possible.
like, do I think Simone's gonna compete until she's 50?
No, but I think that with Simone and, like, even Rebecca Andrade, it's like, when you think about it, the skills that they're performing take so much mental and physical effort that if they can make it to 35 in the sport, I'm impressed.
Well,
Like
you have to think of there's so many things, like, factors that play into this, but also, like, this is Simone's job, and of course, like,
mhm.
she's if she manages her stuff right and continues to do public appearances, is speaking things, and, has sponsors and stuff, she'll be set for life, there's no doubt about that, like, financially,
Yeah.
she'll be fine, but competing, she does probably still make way more money.
Oh,
So,
100%.
not specifically, obviously, off of the competing itself, but from her sponsors and all of that. So,
Yeah.
financially, like, this is her career,
Mhm.
essentially. So, there's that. And then, yeah, I mean, of course, physically, like, she can do it. And she could literally, like, she's already said that she, like, RIP to the Yurchenko double pike. Like,
Yeah.
she got it named. She competed at the Olympics.
Yeah.
She's probably like, peace. I'm not doing
Bye.
that again. Um, but that being said, Simone can do plenty of other skills and execute them exceptionally and be fine. She doesn't need the Yurchenko double pike to be competitive for things. So
Yeah. I
that
completely agree.
just distanced herself from people. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we'll see what happens.
We shall. All right, headline number 6. The U.S. women's selection event for Junior Worlds concluded yesterday. Check our site for the final roster. The meet is in November the 20th through the 24th in Manila, the Philippines. The U.S. men's team has already been named and consists of Danila Lakin, Preston Nye, and Alex Natesh.
Number 7, LSU gained another commit for the class of 2027 in
It's insane. I'm sorry.
Kiari Sparks over the weekend. I believe that puts the Tigers tentatively at 8 commits for that class and 2021 athletes on their roster right now for the 2027 to 2028 year. The new roster limit is of course 20. So everyone is wondering how is this possible? We will remind you of deferrals, which the LSU team will probably have quite a few of ahead of the LA games. They
For
are, I'm
sure.
sure, aware of this and are planning for that. So you've got
100%.
you've got Hesley. I do not see a
Yeah.
world unless injury, not a rolled ankle, but something more serious keeps her out of it. I do not see a world where she doesn't defer. You've got Connor McLean if she
Yeah.
continues. You've got um, Amari and some other people. So I just and you've got other people that could decide to make a run. So yeah, like you Risa Sponda, like
Yeah. There's so many.
they have to protect themselves in this situation. And between all of them, somebody's going to defer. So that would get them to 20 right there. And potentially they'll even still need to even if this is the end of this recruiting class for them and they get 8 and that's it, like, they might still, depending on how many defer, need to pick up some, like, 5th year not 5th years, but just, like, grad
Mhm.
students or people who have
Yeah.
extra years of eligibility, to fill out the roster that year because of deferrals. Like, I could see them having a handful of deferrals, which is a challenge, so they gotta plan for it.
100%. 100%. It's gonna be interesting for sure.
Mhm.
All right, let's do headline number 8. Jordan Childs is under fire after last week's Dancing with the Stars Disney Night episode when she asked her partner Ezra to put her down after they were announced as safe for another week and also move out of the way for some production thing earlier in the show. Both Jordan and Ezra said these were non issues and people need to stop reading into things. You can obviously tell they're both enjoying themselves and like having each other as partners. If y'all get her eliminated off this show, we're going to have to riot, okay? That's insane.
Yeah. I feel like
People
a
love
lot of
to reach.
they love to reach,
Like,
and I think
reach.
it's
Reach.
really is Lauren from Fifth Harmony got voted off shockingly earlier in the season,
Yeah.
and now granted, like, the night that she got voted off, it wasn't her best dance, it was probably her worst dance of the season, I think,
Mhm.
but, like, people were basically like and I don't know why, like, they like to put this on women, I feel like women are honestly kind of unfairly judged on this show, like, the judges
Yeah, for
seem to
sure.
give the male stars, like, a lot more slack.
Mhm.
And then these women get, like, chased and
Yeah.
attacked, and, like, they basically said, like, Lauren was, like, rude and had an attitude, and I did not see it that way at all, and afterwards, when she was eliminated, they were like, how are you feeling about this?" And she was like, "Pissed."
Pissed.
And that's it, and people were like, "Well, this is the attitude that got you put off the show."
Oh,
No, she's
boo hoo.
allowed to say these things, and just because a woman shares her opinion doesn't mean that she's, like,
Has an attitude problem.
has an attitude problem or anything like that. Like, that's where if a man said that, I feel like it would not have gotten the same reaction. It's just
No.
such a reach, so
100%
and
not.
so don't vote Jordan off if we are doing this show because we're recording on Tuesday. I'm covering Dancing with
Yeah.
the Stars tonight. If that woman gets voted off because of you people, just know that I am reeling if she has been voted off when you're listening to the show.
And
That's
you
it.
all saw Angry Patricia last week. You don't wanna deal with it.
We'll be talking about it in our Worlds recap episode if that is the case.
Yeah, so mm,
I'm next. Okay.
yeah, you are.
All right. Well, let's call this one number 9 and 10 because it's a two-parter. Fred Richard is catching heat for a couple of things this week. He showed off his concept for a new men's uniform. It's the same one. We'll flash it if you're watching. On the Tamron Hall show and also compared his flight time on floor when he's tumbling to Simone Biles in a recent TikTok. Despite the women doing less passes than the men. So he's going to have more flight time no matter what. Apples to oranges in that situation. Mm, Biles commented on the TikTok and said, "Don't let my knowledge get in the way of your confidence," which, as far as I understand it, is basically a sarcastic remark that says, "I'm going to let you finish, but you're wrong. And you can continue to believe your misinformation with unfounded confidence, basically." So, um, and then as far as the uniform goes, which there's mixed reactions to the uniform. This is his concept for men's uniform. He's not saying it should absolutely like at least as far as I understand, it shouldn't like 100% replace the uniform. And there have been some discussions about where his opinions are rooted from and if it's yeah, there's just a lot of different opinions from it, but I believe the most liked comment under Fred's video of his talk show appearance said, "The old one." That's the one basically that they pick. "The new one looks like I forgot my stuff, but lost and found saved me." Meanwhile, someone else said, "Please design something for the women.
No.
This is such a great idea,"
No.
which is where I draw the line. The women have uniform options. One, they can wear a variety of things, and they also don't need a man to once again tell them what to wear. So I think we start venturing into dangerous territory when that starts getting messaged because Fred decided to go and, you know, die on this hill for this new uniform, which like
Good for
it's a
you. Keep it over
concept,
there.
continue to iterate it, you that's well within your right, but do not keep it over there. Don't be like, let's not lean into this more and be like, "I'm gonna come up with a women's uniform next." Like, that's don't do that,
Oh my god.
please.
That
It's
that makes me so angry.
I I my personal opinion of the Fred uniform thing is I just objectively speaking about the specific uniform concept that he has presented and the latest iteration that he showed at championships, which looked better than the Winter Cup one marginally, is it does not look clean. I don't think it shows the lines well, which is the whole point of the uniform. And I think that the men should be raised up, strong in their like beliefs, basically,
Mhm.
and not I just feel like there's, like, some fragile masculinity that is going on here, and we need
I
to
just
I don't know.
I don't know. I just feel like between the TikTok and then I'm just Fred, you're losing me a little bit. I love you dearly, but you're losing me a little
It's
bit.
hard. Like, Fred has done so much, I do think, for the sport, and
100%.
good
But
guy.
also,
He's I think he's got best interests at heart, but sometimes we might veer. Maybe let's keep iterating the uniform idea.
yeah,
Not
sure.
saying that um, it's dead in the
Listen,
water,
do
but
whatever you
let's
want. Don't come for other gymnasts and the women.
yes.
Point blank, period.
Yes. Mhm.
And
Okay.
also, if you're gonna, at least be factually correct.
Yes, yes, exactly. Let's think
Anywho,
these through. You're going to
eh,
Michigan. I know that you are a Michigan man with a that's a good education. So
education right
let's
there. I know you're
all
very
right.
smart. I've done interviews with you.
Yes, like you're
I believe
you're
in you, Fred.
you got it, dude. Let's just fix
Course
it.
correct.
Okay. All right. So now that we've given you the rundown of the gym news, we want to get into a specific story that we think needs a little bit more attention, and we have some explaining to do. And of
Yes.
course, our we have some explaining to do this week is our last Worlds preview. Yay!
Whoa.
The 2025 World Artistic Gymnastics Championships get underway this Sunday, October 19th, and go through the 25th. We'll start with qualifying over 3 days, then men's all around, women's all around, and 2 days of event finals, which is what we are discussing today. Check our previous two episodes for part 1 and 2 of our previews. We did like a macro overview of the
Mhm.
meet. We did a all-around preview of the meet. Of course, there's no team. No team. This is an individual worlds, the tradition after post-Olympic years or in post-Olympic years. But we are now going to just kind of quickly run down the events, the women's events, the men's events, and discuss who could be in contention for these titles. We say could because
You never
8
know.
gymnasts versus all around. All around, it's the top 24
Mhm.
from qualifying that go to the all around finals in both men's and women's. That's you've got to wiggle room, right? Like somebody could literally one of the top gymnasts could fall in qualifying and still make the all around final. But when it comes to event finals, it's a lot more volatile,
Mhm.
especially specifically, let's say beam and floor. I
Mhm.
mean, all of them can be, but um for the women, beam and floor, and then of course like high bar
Yeah.
and vault because for men because the guys really just go out there and sometimes chuck those vaults. So
Yeah, for sure.
and only the top 8 on each event advance to the final. So it's a smaller group. So if you make a mistake on one event, you're probably done for. And
Yep.
so basically picking, like, I think we can based off consistency, we can really discuss, the top ones, but, like, these people could literally not qualify, and then
Mhm.
our conversation is irrelevant. So we're just gonna quickly go through and discuss who we're thinking for these events. Um, and yeah, so let's start with vault. Our top contenders are actually, hold on just a second, Carissa. My thing
Okay.
decided to mess up, and that's great. Okay. So, our top contenders are, of course, you have first and foremost, you have the Americans because we are American, obviously, and we cover it all, but we do have a US slant. So, we have Leanne Wong and
Mhm.
Jocelyn Robertson. They could both win medals on vault.
Yeah.
Leanne does score higher than Jocelyn just because of technique, typically. Jocelyn did say that she wants to clean up her knees. Both of them are doing double twisting Yurchenko and Chung. So Jocelyn said she wanted to clean up her knees a little bit more between camp and competition. Both of them could win medals. They definitely have the best two, like, they have the highest two vault difficulty of the field along with two of the Chinese women.
Yeah.
So they're already at an advantage there. It's just going to come down to execution. We you do have to make the point of Leanne's Chung,
Mhm.
which is
Her hands.
we your hand the hands she has to support. You have to support with both hands. Last year at Olympic trials, she brought out the Chung. She was going balls to the wall, go Leanne. And initially, she got a 2-point deduction because the judges said that she was only showing support with one hand.
Mhm.
It automatically triggers a review. That's one of the things about the code. It automatically triggers a video review with that deduction. So they did go back and review it and they gave it back to her.
Mhm.
But I don't believe she's done this. I mm, I don't believe she's done this vault. No, I don't think so. On the international stage. And so it is a question about how the judges are going to review it. She told us at camp that she could be quick off the table, she can rush it a bit, and that is where the potential lack of support comes from. And then it says specifically support in the main code, but then in some, like, clarification documents, it says repulsion. So, like, not just, like, her hand is touching the table, but the judges should probably be informed on, like, basically it's showing that she's, like, pushing off,
Yeah.
like, weight bearing, pushing off with both
Yeah.
of her hands. So, we harp on that because obviously, like, if Leanne hits both of her vaults and she stuck the Chung at championships this year, like, she could very well win gold. So, but if she doesn't,
It's gonna come down to
she could it could literally come down to that clarification, and it could come down to it in qualifying, and she literally doesn't make the vault final because of that, or it could come down to it in the vault final, which would be crazy. So, um, yes. So that's Leanne. Of course, then there's Jocelyn. You also have Ding Yalin from China, who is doing, I believe, the same difficulty as Leanne and Joss. You have
yeah.
Carla Navis from Panama, Leah Monica Fontaine, and I think Ellie is doing vault. Ellie Black.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, and then you've got other people. You've got if Angelina is wrapped up like a mummy and doing 2 vaults, she could be in the mix. But really, I think the top contenders, Leanne, if she hits it clean and gets the credit, then her, Jocelyn, Carla, Ding,
Mhm.
probably the top ones fighting for the podium. So, and then
I agree with
Canada.
that.
So, on bars. It's really like a one horse slash it's really a one horse race slash there's somebody who could come up behind her and if she makes a
Yeah.
mistake, but that's reigning Olympic all-around champion, not all no, reigning Olympic bars champion, Kalia Namor of
Yes.
Algeria. She has a massive D score advantage over the field.
Huge.
Um, let's see. I'm trying to look. Yeah, like she's got 2/10 on China's Young Fan Yue. Um, that's 2/10 on her, but her execution is just she's just very consistent
Mhm.
and is easily posting like in the 15 threes, mid 15s
Yeah.
on bars. So she's the one to beat. This would be her first world title on bars. Yang Fan Yue of China is the other person who's put up a 15 on
Mhm.
bars this year. And
Yeah, it's really
so,
those 2.
yeah, if Kalia messes up, she could win. Um, but yeah, it's basically like how does Kalia perform? And Kalia is pretty consistent. So
Come on.
yeah. And then you got the Russian AINs, of course. And yeah, that's basically those
Bars.
are the ones. The
Yeah.
Russian AINs, I feel like just aren't as consistent. Angelina made a
No,
mistake at Paris World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see.
for sure.
Um, on game,
Yeah.
you got the Chinese ladies, Kalia. A lot of the top beam workers actually are not. Well, we do have a lot of the top beam workers, but you don't have the reigning Olympic beam champion Alice D'Amato. You don't have Manila Esposito, of course, both from Italy.
Mhm.
So, could be relatively
A
wide
toss-up?
open. What were you gonna say?
I said it could be a toss-up, yeah.
Yeah. So, but as far as at the top, you've got Zhou Yakin of China, who, of course, iconically won. She was the one that like saw the Italian girls eating their medals at
Oh, yeah.
the games last year.
I remember that.
Um, which was like one of the most endearing
That
moments.
was.
But so she won balance beam silver last year, and then you have Zhang Qingying, who is known for her like some people will correct and say that it's not a Yurchenko loop, but basically a Yurchenko loop.
Yeah.
And so they have basically the two top scores in the world this year. But both right around that 15 mark. Kalia has almost also pushed the 15 mark, so she's been great on beam. And this is between bars and beam. Those two are what's bolstering her all-around campaign as well. We
Yeah,
already discussed that last episode, but depending on how vault and floor goes is really what's going to determine if she can win her world all-around medal or win potentially world gold. So, um, but that's one of those volatile events. Like it
yeah.
depends on how harsh the judges are scoring because they can
How the
go
day goes.
harsh how the day goes. If
Gravity.
everybody's falling, if there's water on the beam, like
No,
worlds
literally.
past.
Oh my
So,
god.
uh,
That's insane. Like,
and then of course, like this is probably the event as far as the US goes that Sky Blakely has the best
chance, yeah.
chance at making a final. I just don't know, even mathematically, if Sky's got medal potential here. She could if things go sideways, she makes the final. There's a lot of falls, things like that. But like these other athletes just have already the D score
For
advantage
sure.
on Sky.
Mhm.
So that's the challenge, right? So
Yeah. Never
we'll
say
see.
never, but
Never
that's
say
kind of the
never.
land.
We love to be proven wrong, as we always say.
Yes.
So, um, and then on floor, again, another kind of volatile one. It really just depends on like the artistry component, because of course there's that. And then we've got, is the panel being harsh on leaps
Technical
things
skills.
like technical skills, things like that. But that being said, top score this year is Russian AIN Anna Kamakova.
Mhm.
And then a lot of Manila's not here. Hesley's not
Leslie's not
here.
here.
You've got Angelina, you've got Jocelyn, Ayuko Sugahara of Japan, Julia Parodi, Italy. So, and then, of course, Sabrina Voyna from Romania, who is certainly looking for a world medal on floor after being kind of the getting the short end of the stick, especially not the short end of the stick, but being kind of the one that's left out of the conversation with the whole floor medal
For sure.
debacle
Yeah.
from Paris. So, certainly would love to win a floor medal. Um, and yeah, and then I do think all of these women are putting up, low to mid 14s.
Mhm.
I think Jocelyn put up her 14.15 at championships. And of course, there's, maybe a little bit of domestic scoring there. Everybody, we've discussed this like the other week. She's going to get wrecked internationally. She gets wrecked nationally.
Literally, I'm like,
So
so annoying.
that being said, of course, she sprained her ankle at championships, day 2 of championships. She's recovered from that basically, but some
Mhm.
of her landings were still a bit concerningly short
Yeah.
at camp
Yeah.
competing. So I worry about that. But that being said, if she makes the final, she'll probably contend for a medal.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially with how clear the field is.
the Kamakova, she supposedly has the highest floor score of the year with a 14.533. Russian scoring, I always take Russian scoring more than anything with a grain of salt. Um, so and I'm pretty sure I feel like I saw that one and I was just like, "That is high."
Yeah.
But that being said,
You never know.
um, yeah, you never know. And then, of course, there's Dulcie. I think Dulcie, if she executes really well, she could sneak into this final. I don't know about a medal, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of these athletes, that are as far as the top scorers this year that aren't even in Jakarta, so you never know.
Yeah.
But I think that's Dulcie's
Chance.
best chance at an individual, like, event final, so.
Yeah. I agree.
And then so that's the women, and then we go to the men, um, who will go through, and honestly, like, there's a lot of I feel like with the men, it's a lot more there's some that's more up in the air, and then there's some that's not. On
Yeah.
floor, you, of course, have the Russian AINs who are harder to kind of get a read on because they basically only competed domestically, and then there's, of course, maybe, like, a little bit of a domestic boost with the Russian scoring. I mean, you get a domestic boost basically anywhere.
Mhm.
But, those are harder to read. You've got the British guys. They You've got Harry Hepworth, you've got Luke Whitehouse, you've got Jake Jarman. Um, so those guys, Kazuki Minami of Japan, Carlos Yulo, reigning Olympic floor champion, and Asher is the one who's got the highest floor score of the men, I believe, this year, as far as the US goes. But then, of course, on D score wise, the
Yeah.
highest D score goes to Mr. Cameron Nelson, also of the US. So the problem for Cameron is that he definitely gets hit a lot execution-wise.
Yeah.
So, if he can execute, minimize deductions, minimize the out of bounds with his triple back and triple pike, and, he gets really soft knees on his, is it laid out double double or laid out full twisting double A? I don't know, I forget, but he gets really soft knees on that, at
Yeah.
least the past few times I've seen it. So, yep, of course, Artem will not be here, so he's out of the mix. Yeah, I think um, those are the big names there. Would be great. I think Luke Whitehouse is, I always get him and Harry a bit mixed up because, of course, both of them are, like, stellar on floor, but Luke Whitehouse is the three-time reigning European champion on floor, so and he's looking for his first world medal,
Mm,
so
he could pull
that would
something.
that'd be a great story. Asher winning his first individual world medal, on floor would be great, although I think Asher is definitely looking more for that vault medal,
Yeah.
so, pommel horse, there's a lot of great pommel horse workers here,
Yeah.
and pommel horse is the most volatile.
Uh-huh.
I would say that and high bars, so who freaking knows, man?
Yeah.
But you got the Italian, Gabriel Targetta.
Mhm.
People probably message me and say that's wrong. Um, Gabriel Targetta. Nariman Kurbanov of Kazakhstan, Patrick Hoops of the US, Hamlet Manukian of Armenia, Brandon Dang of the US, Takaki Sugino of Japan. So, I mean, all of them can basically push 15. So,
Mm, yeah.
I
No,
think
it's, like, so close.
to win this pommel horse title, you're gonna have to hit and probably make a 15. And if you get a 15, I think you're on the podium.
I agree. Fully.
Rings, another one that's gonna be tight. Of course, the highest rings difficulty
Mhm.
in the world right now goes to is tied for Great Britain's Courtney Tulloch and Donnell Wittenberg of the US. So there's those guys, and then you've got Adema Sil of Turkey, the Chinese guys, Eleftherios Petronias, who is a rings legend. He's got a lot of medals, world
Yeah.
and Olympic, and Zhang Boheng of China. So those are probably the names that we'll see. On vault, another one where these guys just chuck everything. So half the time, not always all the time, but
Most of the time.
if there's one thing that men's gymnasts like to do, it's to go do
Chuck a
vaults that they
vault.
probably shouldn't be doing. But
100%.
maybe we
It
should be,
kinda
I don't
gives,
know.
like, the vibes of wait. It kinda gives the vibes of, like, Winter Cup, where you see, like, the girls kind of throwing stuff they shouldn't be throwing.
Just a
Or
splat
Nastia
fest.
Cup. Yeah. Is it
No,
Nastia
I
Cup?
think you're talking about Winter Cup. Nasty
Yeah,
Cup,
I
they're
am.
usually pretty good.
Yeah. It gets a little it's wild, sorry.
But yeah, so pray for their knees, pray for their ankles, but definitely pray for their knees.
Just
Um
pray in general.
so there's as far as best vault averages, you have Wang Mingqi of China. You have Artur Davtyan of Armenia, who is, of course, a vault legend. He's so clean. You have Jake Jarman of Great Britain. Um, Nazar, let's see, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Nazar Chaperny of Ukraine. Harry Hepworth of Great Britain. The question mark for me, and I need to go check. I should have already checked this honestly. But Iran had a blank spot for their athlete on the latest nominative roster, and I thought it would have already been filled in with Mahdi El Fadi,
Yeah.
who got a skill named after him earlier this year.
Yeah.
Um, and he could definitely contend for the vault title and a vault medal, but I have not seen him on the roster, so TBD. There's just, especially with the men, but in general with an individual worlds, it's so much is up in the air.
No,
And then
yeah.
Thomas Grasso, who
Mhm.
won gold at the Paris World Cup, he is so clean,
Mhm.
and I just love his vibes. So,
Love your vibes.
I love your vibes. On parallel bars, this is another situation for similar to Kalia, where Zhou Jingwan of China, the parallel bars goat. What?
His score is just insane.
It's just he can't be
Five
beaten
tens
as
above.
what'd you say?
I'm looking at it right now, at least the rankings I'm looking at, he's 5/10 above Angel Brajas.
Yes. So,
So anyways,
unless
here's your gold medal.
unless Joe makes a mistake, he will basically win parallel bars. He is just continue like mini world gold medals, mini Olympic gold medals, and he just shows no signs of stopping. So,
Pop
yeah.
off,
And
King. Good for
And then you
you.
have Colombia's Angel Barajas contend for the podium. Shinosuke Oka, the reigning Olympic champion. He said recently, like this week, I think, that his goals are gold in the all around, gold on parallel bars, and gold on high bar. I think all around and high bar are within the realm of possibility. I think you're gonna need
A
Joe to
lot.
make a massive mistake
Massive.
for you to do that on parallel bars, but
Literally.
pop off. You do you.
I
Uh,
love the enthusiasm.
I do. I think you know what? You need that. So,
Keep going.
and then of course you've got Ferhat Arakan from Turkey and some different ones. I think the one of the Russian AINs, Daniel Marinov, he also has put up some good scores. So, be interesting to see who's basically battling for silver and bronze.
Yeah, I was about to say. Well, honestly, yeah.
And then we go to high bar where I think
It is going to literally be.
we did a retrospective on Paris high bar competition, which was insane. And we literally, basically everybody fell is the synopsis.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure we had guys on the podium who fell. So, we'll see what happens there. But, that being
Insane.
said, high bar, of course, domestically, you got Brody.
Mhm.
He is going to be shooting for adding the triple pike into his routine, and if he hits the routine that he's planning, it'll be a 6-8, which would be, um, the highest difficulty score probably of this field. Right at championships, he did a 6-6 day 2, I believe. Day 1, it was rough, and also at selection camp, it was rough, but
It was rough.
he's getting it out. So then you've got his biggest competition, of course, is Teng Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei. Then you have Daiki Hashimoto, who was, of course, the 2020 high bar Olympic champion. You have Shinosuke Oka, who was the 2024 high bar champion. He said that he wants gold. Daiki wants gold. Everybody wants gold. I am personally big fan of Teng Chia-hung's high bar.
Yeah.
It's super just lovely to watch.
Yeah. It
My,
is.
my personal and then you got Milad Kareem. I don't know what Milad's doing, actually. I think I saw somebody else talking about this. They were like, "What is Milad doing at this meet?" And I'm just everybody's like, "We don't know." You should be required to register any event you could possibly do when you do nominative registration.
I agree.
Carlo Macchini of Italy, he won the Paris World Cup. So, one to watch. My personal hope fave is that Heath Thorpe will make the final. So,
Yay.
Australia's Heath Thorpe, he is beautiful to watch on high bar and floor. And, of course, last Worlds, he was reporting on Worlds with us because he was
Yep.
controversially left off the Australian team.
Yep.
So, that being said, we are rooting for you, Heath, and I
We
will root
sure
for that.
are.
I will personally root for that story. So, hoping he makes that final, and, I think that's really it. That's all of
Yeah.
our events. So,
Like me.
sound off in the comments any of your predictions by when this is published. You'll have, like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday before the meet starts and qualifying gets underway, and then, of course, event finals will close out the meet for us next Friday and Saturday, the 24th and 25th of
Yeah.
October. So,
I feel like we're either gonna have a meet that's very predictable and we predicted, and it's gonna go exactly as we've suggested, or we're going to get absolutely flabbergasted and blown out of the with
You
the
just never know,
results.
and that's again, that's the thing about the individual worlds is, like, these athletes especially, like, they're not necessarily, like, if they're an all-arounder, for instance, they don't have the pressure of needing to do all-around for a team competition or for qualifying for the Olympics. So, like, they can choose not to do all-around. They can choose not to do an event. They can choose to
Yeah.
do an event if they just are just like, "Screw it, why not?"
No, for
So,
sure.
you just don't know. It's very up in the air. But, do you have any predictions or hopes, Carissa?
I just want Namor to 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 get an all around, and I want her to get a gold medal on bars.
Yep,
I
that is
just
I feel
I
like
mean, watching her
everybody
routine is just it's just wow. And
it
honestly,
is
I'd
wow.
really like the US in me, not to be biased. I would love to see Brody pull out for high bar.
Yes. You mean,
And to
like, pull it out, not
yeah.
pull like, remove
Yeah.
himself from the
Yeah.
competition.
Pull it out.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he won in 2022, and of course, if you don't know Brody's story, you can go look it up on our site. We actually talked to him after he got injured. I think we were the first interview we had after he got injured, but he basically has, like, an all new leg,
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
what it was seemed like a race against the clock to get back for Paris, but he made it back. He competed all around. Of course, it wasn't exactly what he was hoping, but and then everybody didn't
Still did
know
it.
if yeah, and then everybody didn't know if he was gonna come back for this quad, and he says he's taking it year by year, but, he's back, he's married, he's doing it partially for his wife now too, um, so love it, and, yeah, he won at his last Worlds, which is surprising because you always I always forget that he wasn't at 2023 Worlds because of an injury. So his
Yeah.
last Worlds was 2022, and that's when he won high bar. So the last time he was on the world stage, he won high bar gold. So we'll see if he can pull it out.
Yeah.
But
I also would like to see Angel Brajas get silver because my stepmom's Colombian and I just feel very, I just, that'd be really cool.
he's making great strides for Colombia and
Hmm.
for UPEG, and their athletes and stuff. So finally, let's transition to our last segment of the episode where we get to dive into more real life headlines in the gym world. And we only have one headline for gymnasts or people too, which
A
is,
bit somber.
yes, a bit somber. Alexander Dityatin passed away earlier this month at the age of 68. Dityatin represented the Soviet Union and made history as the only male gymnast to win medals on every event in a single Olympic Games. That was 8 in total, 3 gold, when he did so at the 1980 Moscow Games before a home crowd, which is pretty epic.
Yeah, that's
His
pretty
8
epic.
it was pretty epic. His 8 medals at a single game set an Olympic record that still stands. Michael Phelps, of course, GOAT swimmer, is the only one to have tied the feat. So if you're in company with Michael Phelps, or
You're
if
doing,
Michael Phelps is in
Oops
company
is in
with
company with
you,
you.
you're in good company. Um, D. Titan was also the first man to earn a perfect 10 at an Olympics when he did so on vault on his way to the all-around crown. So, sad to hear of his passing, but what a legendary gymnast, and crazy that
Great
those
career.
yeah, great career and crazy that those, stats still stand or that
Yeah,
specifically nobody's been able to do that again. Um Which I think is also a testament to him to be able to do that, but also a testament to the sport, parity in the sport, I guess is the proper term of it, that it's no longer I feel like every year, and I feel like Worlds is a great example of that, every year that the sport of course, there are still powerhouses, but there other countries are really growing in gymnastics, and there's just so much more competition, it's so much more competitive, nowadays where it's very hard and you have to be so, so talented to achieve that feat, especially today.
100%.
I don't know if we'll ever see that happen again, but
Hopefully.
Maybe Shinosuke Oka is
Challenge
gonna.
accepted. No, I'm kidding.
Between the Japanese guys and the Chinese guys, one of them is like,
This is
absolutely,
what
I
I'm
could do it.
saying.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
I'm
one
saying.
thing. I I I read something in a book. It was The Love Hypothesis by Ally Hazelwood, and it was just like, have the confidence of mediocre white man. No. I want to have the confidence of
Literally.
the Japanese and Chinese gymnasts, male gymnasts, and they are perfectly within their right to have the confidence that they do
100%.
because they're so good. So
100%.
I'm gonna have that mindset because they're crushing it and they're so good.
Preach. Amen.
So we'll see how well they do at Worlds, but
Farewell.
sending our condolences to Alexander's family. 68,
Yes.
pretty young nowadays, I feel like.
No, super young.
I did not see what happened, but
Hope and pray that it was peaceful.
yes. But that's it for us. Worlds is upon us. Follow us on social and on the website.
Follow us on social media.
Follow us on social media.
Follow
Decoded
us.
Gym Pod.
And
Number
Gymnastics
1.
Now.
And Gymnastics Now. Gymnastics __ now on Instagram and
Follow
gymnastics,
us
whatever.
on Apple, Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, but I need you to subscribe.
Subscribe. Support us so we
View,
can
watch.
bring you this content. And
Yeah.
reminder that we will not have an episode next week. We will be back Thursday, October 30th. I might be dressed as the Onceler from the Lorax. Who knows?
I forgot about that.
I won't be, but I'll be prepping my costume. But that will be our Worlds recap episode because we're going to be booked and busy this next week. So follow our coverage on the website and on social. And we will talk to you then.
See you later, Gators.
Bye-bye.
Bye.